Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Hey there, Tiff from Tiffany Mika podcast. Welcome to today's episode. What I'm going to share with you is some really different things than what I've been sharing in the past. I haven't actually been sharing anything too much in the last few weeks. Didn't do any resetting of goals or anything to help you because I've given you all of that info that you can then continue on. But you know, there's a change going on, and there's a change going on with me. I'm shifting, evolving, all of that kind of thing, and because of that process that I'm going through, which I'll share with you very shortly, setting goals, working hard, grinding it out, being super competitive, it's just not where I'm headed in where we're headed with regards to this podcast show. And I wanted to share that with you. I want to be upfront with you because I'm going through some evolvement and discovering more and discovering new things and expanding and evolving. And I know I say evolve a lot, but that's what is going on. It's not fair for me, and it's not fair for you that for me to keep talking about goal setting, for me to keep talking about grinding it out, for me to keep talking about being super competitive in your sport. I don't know, to be honest, I don't know where we're going to head right now. What I do know is that if you're willing to come on the journey with me and the ride and learn and discover more about you and how you operate, love to have you with me. If you feel that it's time to say goodbye because you want to be that super competitive person, and even what I'm going to be sharing with you as we go through these series of episodes in the future doesn't mean that you can't be all of that either. It just means that we're just going to operate in a different way. And like I said, I think it's fair for me to tell you that I'm not going to operate that way, especially right now, because of things that have been happening. And so that's what I'm going to share with you. And if you want to come on the ride and continue to evolve you and develop you into being a better person in whatever that looks like, I'd love to have you there. And like I said, what I'm going to share with you and work with you and show you, teach you, give you insights on what I'm discovering as well. If you'd like to come on that journey too, please, love to have you with me still along the way. And I share these things about me so that I can help you, because I think where we get a little bit off the track is that we think that we have to know everything. And I'll be the first to say, look, I don't know anything. You know, it's all about experience and what I've developed and so on throughout the time. But I keep growing, I keep expanding, I keep wanting more. I keep wanting to change and develop and be better, be incredible. But it doesn't necessarily mean that I have to be super competitive about it. And so that's where there's a shift happening. So what I'm aware of is that you don't have to be so intense about everything. It's all about letting go, and that's a huge process that I'm on right now, which I started a few years ago. And again, I'll share that shortly. But I just want to speak from the heart of where I'm headed and inform you that this is where we're going to go, and we're going to see what unfolds as we go. And again, just, giving you some other insights into some new ways of thinking, new ways of feeling how you want to operate. And it can help anything that you do. You can still be, competitive in your sport. You can be competitive in your life, but it's just in a different way. And so this is what we're going to be focusing on in the future. So the process that I've been going through over the last few months is I've been going through this spiritual awakening, and it's been evolving over a number of years, I think, and simply because I'm connecting more with my inner being, my soul, a lot more deeper meditations and so on, and I'm having insights, breakthroughs, and all of that kind of thing. And when I had this experience probably about 2 months ago where, through the night, you're in that in-between stage where your body's paralyzed and you're not sure whether you're awake or asleep, that kind of feeling. I was in that mode. And then I just felt my head shake, like physically shake. And I knew it was a physical thing. I could feel it. It wasn't in a dream, but I wasn't sure if I was in a dream state or I was awake. I was aware, but I couldn't move. And I was screaming out to get my husband to wake me up, to snap me out of it, because I couldn't move. And then what I started to do, like initially I was a bit frightened because I felt this huge pain in my chest as well, like my chest was being crushed. And I didn't sleep after that because I was frightened. And I wasn't frightened that I was having a heart attack. What was scaring me, because at the time I was listening to, I listened to a lot of Esther Hicks. I started to listen to Theo, Shona Gillette. So I was listening to a few people that channel, and I thought, oh, gee, a spirit must be trying to get in, and there's no room. So they're trying to, make some room and get rid of my spirit and come in. That was sort of the fear. But over the next, week, I was doing a lot of discovery on, okay, well, what actually happened? So, and again, it depends what religion. So I looked at Hinduism, that sort of drew me to it, and it was, like that Kundalini awakening, the awakening of the serpent, the awakening of your chakras through your body, and all that. So I went down that path and learnt a lot about that and what the process was, and then I went in and looked at a lot of spiritual awakenings and, what is the process of that, what happens, and all of that. Now, you can go down a rabbit hole because there's so many different descriptions, and everyone that shares about a spiritual awakening shares all these different things that happen. They have spirits come to talk to them. They have deep personal connections with lost loved ones, that have moved on to the other side. There's all this stuff. And I was like, well, I'm not feeling that, but I know there's something changing. And so what over that time, what I've discovered is it's actually, my soul is wanting to be more expressed, because I've been having a lot of these dreams of feeling trapped. I wake up through the night and I get quite anxious because I feel trapped in my body. And I really believe it's my soul calling out to me, Tiff, it's time to make some changes. Now, I don't have anything wrong in any shape or form. I just want to keep working on becoming better, learning more about what else there is out there in life other than what I'm doing. Are there other ways? Are there other ways in order to, even accomplish goals, or not, do the opposite and let go and see what unfolds? So that's what I'm discovering, is that it's the fact that my soul is wanting to be heard, right? And it's doing whatever it can to attract my attention. So that's what's actually been going on. So then, I've gone through all these different steps of what spiritual awakening is and all of that. For me, I feel that what's actually happening is the fact that my soul and my ego are having a bit of a battle at the moment. Not so much, I think my soul's starting to win. Not that it's competitive, but it's what's actually going on is that, the last few weeks I haven't recorded anything either. I've actually kept pretty quiet. Even my mum's been ringing me going, "Are you okay?" Because I ring her every day and I haven't been. And through some stuff, just felt really fatigued. Not that I felt down, I still meditated every day, still got out and did things, still went to the gym, didn't work as intensely or working on developing strength and stability like I like to. But I still showed up. But I just didn't feel right. I felt very fatigued. And my understanding is that what I'm actually going through is a separation between the soul and the ego. So my ego has been operating in a particular way my whole life, right? These are the things that I learnt as I was growing up. This is all I know. This is how I operate. This is how you set goals. This is what you do to achieve goals. This is how intense you've got to be. You've got to work hard. You've got to do all these things. You've got to, tick the boxes, so to speak. And my soul is saying, no more. You're tired. You can't keep operating that way. It's time to make a change. That's what I believe actually what has that initial thing that happened, in the wee hours of the morning, was like, "Hey, Kate, I've got to shake you out of this. It's time to make changes." And that's what I've been focused on. So what then's been happening in that time is I've just been learning a lot. I've been learning a lot about spiritual awakening. I've been learning a lot, which has led me to sacred geometry, hidden numbers, trying to understand, like the ancient religions, just to get an understanding of actually what's going on. So and look, you can go down a rabbit hole. As you know, there's so much information out there and it's like, okay, well, where do I go? What do I do? Like you can get lost in it and it can be quite overwhelming, quite confusing because again, you hear different stories and so on. But what I believe is it's personal experience. So this is what's actually going on. People share their personal experiences and that's what I'm doing here today is I'm sharing my personal experience of what I believe is going on, some discoveries I've made, and then where I'm going to go. And like I said, if you want to come on the ride, you're most welcome. So what I actually want to share with you, though, is like an insight that I had about 2 weeks ago. I've got a journal that I write in, not a lot, just now and then when I feel like I've had a huge insight into something. And I want to share this with you because this is what's going on, right? This is what I believe has happened until this point, and then where we go from there, we'll talk about it afterwards. But I'd like to read you what I wrote in my journal a few weeks ago. So what I said was an interesting thing I heard from the Adi Yogi on YouTube, so YouTube channel. You choose your mother's womb to create experiences in the body she's produced. So you choose your mother's womb, right? So even though your parents create you, you choose the womb. So what are the experiences that I wanted to experience? It's like, well, why did I come into the physical body? Why am I here? And I find that as a child, I wanted to experience why I ended up in the body I chose. And I always questioned from the age of 4 or 5, why was I here and what was my purpose? So I remember being, 4 or 5 years of age, wondering what's life all about? Why am I here? What am I supposed to be doing? I'll continue because I could go down a rabbit hole with that one too. And then I wrote, I feel right now in this moment in time, I was meant to experience life and to feel what it was like to find the answers. Because that's what I've always been looking for. I've been looking for the answers of whatever I've been exposed to. I don't wait for things to come to me. I go and look for the answers because I want to know. And what were those answers I was seeking at a young age? So this is what I believe now, what I was seeking then, but that didn't happen then, right? So was I searching for happiness? Was I searching for kindness? Was I searching for peace? Was I searching for being at ease? Was I searching for feeling comfortable? Was I exploring the different feelings? Was I learning and wanting to experience how to deal with emotions? Was I learning how to deal with experiences that I encountered, good experiences, bad experiences? And that was the journey to start, right? That was the journey that was actually going to start life. Was it? And was it the journey of life? What are the lessons or the experiences of life that I've had? So then what I'm going to share with you is the experiences then what I've discovered along the way, okay? So as a child, figuring out what to do and why am I here. What I felt I learnt as a child was there was a lot of play and lots of fun to be had. Feel free and vibrant, just be and just enjoy, but also only a child for a short period of time, right? This is before we go to school. Then you go to school. What's the purpose of school? To educate on what to think, what to study, get good grades. Being judged by whether you could remember the content or not, but to teach you and prepare you for what? And what do we go to school for? Work. Get good grades and achieve. Be exceptional sports person and achieve. Be given awards for standing out at being good. Either you're remembering the content that's taught at school, being able to be good at sport or music or whatever that thing is that you're good at. But only if you were good or you stood out at something you would get awards. But what if you are not? What if you don't know what you are good at the time when you were young? But what if you are not? What if you don't know what you are good at when you are young? When you're at school? Are you just ordinary and not good at anything? Why should there be awards for those who win or excel? Isn't it a choice to learn or to train or to be good at something? If you are not good at something, then you are not considered good at anything or something. Do you then strive to prove you are good enough or you can do well? To prove to who? Who are you proving to? Are you proving to yourself that you're good enough? Are you proving to your family, are you good enough? Are you proving to your partners in your life, are you good enough? Are you proving to your teachers that you are good enough? Are you proving to your coaches that you are good enough? Anyone else that you're good enough? Why should you have to prove that you are good enough? Aren't you good enough for who you are? Early adulthood. Felt I was never good enough. Felt like I didn't fit in. Felt like I wasn't good enough. Felt like I wasn't smart enough. Felt like I wasn't attractive enough. Felt like I had to take on anyone that gave me attention because that's all I deserved. How could that thinking be like that? My experiences growing up, my interpretations of life to that point. Wasn't good at school, but good enough to get through. Was good at sport, but struggled to break through into the career I wanted and thought I was destined for. So that was a tennis career, a professional tennis career. But in this moment in time, I was destined to learn, to experience, to figure out my life. And the figuring out process began. Who was I? So this was all happening throughout this time. So then I started to figure out, okay, who am I? Because at that time, when I had given up tennis, because I didn't think I was good enough, I didn't think I accomplish the career I wanted to accomplish as being the top tennis professional player in the world. I started to question everything because I wanted to know the answers. So at the time, early 20s, low self-esteem, thought I was ugly, never fitted in, felt like a failure, felt like a disappointment, never felt I was good enough, never thought I could attract anyone, right? Having a partner in my life. And then I just settled because that's how I thought of myself. I settled for that I wasn't good enough. I attracted people into my life that made me feel terrible, awful about myself. This is in my personal life. I fell into teaching tennis and has sports skills business, but I just settled for what came my way. I was so unhappy. Up until that point in my life, I thought I was destined to be unhappy and just put up with whatever came my way. Early 30s. I wanted answers from my life. Surely this was not what my life was all about. And this was my interpretation of life at that time. You are born, you go to school, you go to work, you have a family. I haven't had a family. I have a husband, but I don't have a family. You grow old and then you die. That's it. Oh, you may retire before you die. And all you do is exist for other people, never existing for yourself. I wanted answers. What is life about? Why am I here? What am I supposed to do? And what am I supposed to do with it? Mid-30s. I began to discover my experiences were created by my attitude about myself. So it was what I thought of me, who I thought I was. And my attitude towards myself was poor. I still felt that I was still having to prove myself that I was good enough. And I was working on improving to myself, to my family, to my partner at the time, that I was good enough. But I also wanted to prove to me that I was good. I was good. But I also wanted to prove that I was good enough to the world so the world would acknowledge me. It was still that thing. I was still like, the world needs to know that I am good enough. And that was what I kept working on. I kept on focusing on proving that I was good enough. But I was burnt out a lot in this quest to prove. And I kept getting burnt out. Mid-40s. So in that time, mid-30s, late 30s, early 40s, I met my beautiful husband. Things started to change. But he didn't define me. He gave me the support and the encouragement to grow and expand, which was great. So mid-40s, so this is a few years after we got married, I realized that it was okay to be me. It was okay to feel and be different. I love being different. I love being unique. I was okay to love myself. Sorry, I'll reread that. It was okay to love myself. It was okay to enjoy my life. It was okay that I didn't have to prove. Right? I didn't have to prove anything to anyone. It was okay just to be me. Then turning 50 and beyond. So turning 50 was a real blessing in disguise for me. Even though there was so much dread about turning 50, and I was dreading turning 50 because I had all these expectations, and then I didn't achieve them. Failure and disappointment and so on went through that time, but I'll continue. So even though there was so much dread about turning 50, it just seemed like it came way too quick, and there was no way I was ready for it. I still felt like such a child, like so many years passed before my eyes, and still feeling like that young child, still asking the question, who am I and why am I here? I kept asking that question because I didn't have the answers. You know, you feel like as you're getting older, you have the answers, but you're not. You're still exploring, still discovering, still evolving. So going through that 2.5 years of journey from 50, because that's where I'm at now, I'm nearly 53. So going through 2.5 years of a journey from 50, from then till now has been such a journey. And it's obviously been the journey I've been searching for since I was a child, before school. But it seemed at school, proving myself, not being happy, doing all the things I was supposed to do, i.e. that was what I was told to do, having relationships with the wrong people, working hard, proving, all got in the way and distorted what I was meant to discover about life. But maybe that's what I was meant to discover about life, of what I didn't want. So here I am, 52, on the 13th of July, 2023. My eldest niece's birthday, Evie, beautiful kid, she's just turned 16. Discovering life the way life is meant to be. So what is life meant to be? Joy, happiness, contentment, miracles, magic, peace, calm, expanding myself within, exploring amazing experiences and a path of discovery, choosing my path, feeling good within and being at ease with myself, feeling everything is easy, allowing everything to unfold the way it's supposed to. This is where my life is to go. That's my discovery. So this is why I wanted to share this with you, because it's okay not to be okay, right? It's okay to look for answers to things. It's okay to ask the questions. So where do we go from here is then the question, isn't it? Well, what I can tell you is that I'm even in the space now where making more discoveries, even over the last week. So again, going through this separation from ego and the soul, letting my soul expand, and so that I'm coming into being who I was meant to be. I watched a lot of Dr. Joe Dispenza content on YouTube over the last few days, which has been quite an interesting insight, which gives me then the feedback that I'm on the right track. He's talking about the same things of what I've been discovering naturally, so that then gives me the confidence to keep going in the path and where I'm headed. So what's actually going on now is the fact that I'm allowing myself to let go. So this is the big thing of what the focus is right now, is actually everything that I've learnt up until this point, right? And this is what Dr. Joe Dispenza talks about. Everything that you have learnt is created through what you've studied, interpreted, and so on. And then your body then creates it because you've repeated it for a period of time, right? So what I know up until this point was setting goals, working hard, grinding it out, and you keep focusing on achieving, and that's how you operate. And I was like, well, I don't want to live my life like that anymore. And that's what he was talking about, is like there is another way. And the other way is actually working from within. Rather than thinking that you've got to do it out physically, you actually start from within. And that's what I believe is what my soul's been actually telling me, is that you're starting from within. You keep working on expanding within the quantum field. You're expanding all this energy and frequency and waves that are coming out of you, that different type of energy and frequency that you're giving out, different type of energy and frequency that you're creating within. The chemicals in the body, hormones in the body are responding differently in a good way. So no longer operating in a survival, flight or fight mode, and it's, you got to beat this person, you got to achieve, you got to work hard. And you just keep on that process, right? You just keep working hard, and then you hit burnout, because it's what's been happening, like for many years. still get to a point where we feel burnt out because we think that we have to keep going. We keep going, especially in the day and age we live in now. Everything's like fast, fast, fast. And it's actually, you don't actually have to live that way. So this is where I'm headed. It's letting go, allowing the process to unfold, and deeply diving into meditation. So when I go into a meditative state, what I'm really focused on is just working on being in the moment. Now, it's really difficult for someone to do that if they can't sit still. And it's just a skill, right? It's just training your body to stay in a particular position for a period of time. I just sit back, close my eyes, and go into breathing regime, and then I just focus on being present in the moment, and I allow whatever comes about. And most people won't do that. Sports people will tend to do that because they know how important it is to be present in the moment, and so that they can maintain their focus. But you'll still find that your mind will veer off and start thinking about things, and it's just about bringing yourself back. And so the process for me right now is just letting go, and letting go, not worrying about the future, letting go of the past. So everything that I've learnt from the past, that was the past. What I want to do is explore a new future and allow that to unfold. And it's stepping into the unknown, because what we tend to do is we tend to shift back into what we know. Right? So all the things that I've shared with you over the last number of years in sports performance and insights is through the information that I've learned along the way. Well, I'm going to keep sharing things with you, but it's not going to be in that same format. I don't know, to be honest, what it's going to look like until I share with you the content that I'm going to discover. And I'm going to share a lot of things that go on with me, because I think if I use me as an example rather than just telling you how to do stuff, then you can go off and use yourself as an experiment and discover things and explore as well, and be okay with that. And it's okay to explore. It's okay not to have a deadline. It's okay to allow things to unfold when the time is right. You know, when the universe aligns, when your soul aligns, when the frequency is at the right frequency, and allow that process to happen. So when I go into a meditative state now, what actually happens is I go through a process of feeling like my soul still wants to be released, but not in the sense that it wants to go somewhere, just so that there's that freedom. So I'm letting go of the past. You know, like I've been operating this way for as long as I've known, 52 years, right? So it's going to take a process to let go. But again, it's how much am I willing to let go? Willing to let go of everything. That's no problem, right? I'm willing to, when I close my eyes and go into that process and allow these beautiful chemicals come up into my brain, and these different brain waves starting to come out, I'm allowing that process to happen. I'm stepping into, when I'm into that state, is like, okay, let's step into the darkness and let's see what happens, and be okay with that. It's okay not to know, you know? And I'll give you like a really simple example. So I've been doing Hapkido this year. It's a form of martial arts. It's a Korean form of martial arts. Love it. But I haven't been the last few weeks because I've been very fatigued, been trying to work myself through a process because I didn't know what was going on, you know, and felt like, oh, I've missed a few weeks. I can't remember what we've been working on because I've just gone into another belt level. Don't know, you know, if I want to keep going because I can't remember anything. And then because I'm shifted out of that little slump that I felt like that I've been in, yesterday I was like, okay, let's step into the unknown. This is the perfect example. Step into the unknown. It's okay that you don't remember. It doesn't matter, right? Step into the unknown, let it unfold. It was great, right? Sure. Lots of things came back. Some other things that I'm not totally clear with. That's okay. You work on that, right? Every time I go to a particular yoga session that I have, that I go to each week, this incredible yoga instructor that we have, we're always doing different things, right? Again, letting it unfold, right? It's unknown. But what you feel at the end of it is incredible. Always come back and then do a meditation after, like a deep meditation. What I'm also finding too is like over this this transition, transformation, evolvement, right? This journey that I'm on, I'm meditating for a much longer period. So, you know, it could be an hour and a half or an hour. I mean, today, just before recording this, it was an hour. I was only going to do half an hour and I set the timer, and then I thought, well, that should be fine. But I was enjoying the process so much of the meditation. When I heard the alarm, I turned the alarm off and then I continued. So I ended up being just over or close to an hour of meditation, which was fantastic because I was enjoying the feeling of it, right? I was allowing that process to happen because I get all these beautiful chemicals. I can feel like there's firing in my brain, like those feel-good chemicals, you know, the feel-good hormones. I'm not feeling stressed. I don't care about time. I'll get to things when I get to them. You know, my priority was to get to this so I could record this for you, but that's it, because I wanted to share what was going on, because it's okay if you're wanting to be different. It's okay if you're wanting new things. It's okay. You don't have to be what you were. It's okay to step into the unknown. It's okay, right? You'll be coming with me if you're ready to do that. And we'll see what happens, okay? So I just wanted to share with you today what was going on. This is why you haven't heard from me. I could be talking about sport as well and how to approach things in the future. I don't know, to be honest. I know I've spent most of this podcast show focusing on sport and how to do this, that, and the other. It will help you. I know that I am way more focused and way more in tune with what's going on every time I train or I play golf or I play tennis or do Hapkido or whatever it is. So that's like the side effect, right? Like the positive side effect of it. But I'm just going to keep sharing what's happening so that you don't feel like you're alone, and it's okay to feel the way you feel. And then we evolve together, we expand together. So I hope you really enjoyed today's episode, straight from the heart. And yeah, I'd love to get, I'd love for you to leave a comment and share with me what you like best about what you heard. And if you're on this path or you'd like to have a chat, reach out. Love to hear from you. So in saying that, I want you to dream big, believe in you, go after your dreams, whatever those dreams may be. Let go and unfold, and have an absolutely awesome, magical day. Take care. Talk soon. Bye for now. See ya.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, go.